We're told we live in the freest country in the world, but we are ruled every day by our own government. Every fucking thing we do, government has to be involved. Like life ain't hard enough that you gotta fuck with everybody who's bothering nobody. Freedom comes at a cost. The cost is there's a little bit of fear there. Freedom's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because everybody's fucking free. But if you don't allow us to be free, what happens is you then have a bunch of peasants who are now acting as slaves or cattle. We're just there for the meat at the end of our lifetime. They just take the taxes away. We go to work to pay taxes. And they train us to do this through the public school system. You know, get up at 6, be at school at 7, be at first bell at 7:10. You go to all your bells until lunch. You have 20 minutes to eat real quick before you get back to work. Then you come back home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They train you to be a peasant from the time you're a child. Because we've allowed government to take over every fucking aspect of our life. And like I said, it's not like it's not hard enough. Who gives a fuck that Johnny down the street has a short-barreled shotgun? Who cares? Johnny down the street ain't bothering anybody. And if he does want to bother anybody, the person he bothers, it's on them to protect themselves. We've now allowed government in every aspect of our life, so much so that you have so-called patriots fucking supporting that bills that would be the federal government ruling over the states. This new SOPA or COPA, or whatever the fucking OPA it is today. I mean, I don't know about you, but I got enough shit going on in my life without having to worry about these dickheads in Washington, D.C. or Roanoke, Virginia, or wherever, or downtown Cincinnati, wherever the hell it may be, bothering me about what I do on my free time. Who cares? Who gives a shit what I do? It's not about making you safe. It's about controlling you, so in the end, you pay them. And they're so blind, and we've been so conditioned that the people that fucking do it, that enforce this shit, don't even see it. The cops don't see it. The feds don't see it. The FBI don't see it. The ATF doesn't see it. Fuck, you know what? I would almost bet that half of Congress doesn't even fucking know about it. They just know they're getting paid. Nelson Militia put a video out the other day, and I can't quit thinking about it for some reason. He's talking about we need to lower the salaries of the public servant. If you are a servant, a public servant at that, you shouldn't get paid at all. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to hinder your life. It's supposed to be a problem. It's supposed to be something that you don't really want to fucking do. That way it doesn't become a job. That's why they didn't put term limits on Congress. You know, everybody's like, well, we need term limits. Why didn't they put term limits in the Constitution? Because people ain't supposed to want to fucking make a career out of being in Congress. That's why. That's why the Constitution says Congress has to meet one day a year. It was supposed to be a burden on them. But they've made it, through their own acts, and us failing to enforce the Constitution, they've made it fucking, I mean, being a politician is a career choice, of a fucking career day in high school now. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you could give yourself your own salary, what would you do? Some people would give yourself an honest salary. Other people would give themselves a salary, then make it where they can do whatever they want as long as they're in session. They can't commit a crime while they're in session. That way they can fucking insider trade and become multimillionaires in a year or two. It's absolutely ridiculous, but everybody buys it and everybody buys into the game. We're all playing the game. All of us. And you could say you're not, but you are. For a long time, I said I wasn't playing the game. I try not to play the game, but that's all it is. It's a game. It starts with your birth. The top handful of people in the world, or families, the 1%, whatever you want to call them, control you throughout your life, and then you fucking die. And if you disobey them, go with what they say, cut your fucking barrel an inch shorter than what it's allowed to be. I mean, it makes no sense. The laws make no sense. Shotguns can't be shorter than the 18-inch barrel. Take a Mossberg Shockwave. That has a 14-inch barrel, but it's not a shotgun. No, we call it a firearm. But what does it shoot? The same fucking shells that the shotgun does. Is it any more dangerous? No, it's no more dangerous. But it's the overall length is over 26 inches, so it makes it okay. No tax stamp needed. They've controlled us so much that the control doesn't even make sense anymore. Like, they're just making laws to make laws. The laws just make no sense. Before long, they'll be telling you how many breaths. But you know what? They'll kill me because I can't breathe through my nose. I'm a mouth breather, if you haven't noticed. It's not because I've trained myself to breathe through my mouth. Like, I genuinely can't breathe through my nose like 95% of the time. See it? That's what it does. It's fucked up. Can't afford to go get it fixed because I got cars to work on. But they control every aspect of our life, and at some point they're going to say, you can't take more than 3 breaths a minute for the environment. It's always about safety, about the environment, about something. Take auto key cards, for example. You know why Justin came out with the auto key card and threw a big fucking finger up to the feds and why I support his company so much? Because of the stupidity in it. That's what makes the auto key card so great. It's so fucking stupid that somebody can take a piece of metal, draw all the dimensions on it, but the same piece of metal, if it was cut out, if it wasn't a picture, if it was if somebody was to break the law and cut that part out, you'd be facing 10 years in prison and a $255,000 fine. And then it's not even about the part. Then it's because you didn't fucking get an SOT to be able to do it, or you didn't get a tax stamp if it was transferable. It all comes back to 2 things: who benefits, so who's making money, and who's enforcing it. There's the 2 problems we have in this country. But we have so many fucking. It's like, I got stressed out the other day about all my cars. Everything I have is broke down. I got my Grand Prix, which is my everyday driver. It's broke down. It's been broke down for weeks now because I don't have the money just to throw parts at it. So I want to narrow it down. So I think I tested everything I could test it. I ordered a ECM or a PCM for it today, PCU, whatever they call it on that car. And I found a company that I can buy it from. They'll flash it there, and I just have to relearn it once it gets here. It's just a simple thing of the key. But that's not bad enough. So my backup car that I never drive, I go to borrow a truck so I can haul some stuff off to the dump, and my car breaks down literally pulling in to get the truck. So where the truck is parked at, now my backup car is parked at, broke down. But that don't, like I said in the last video, it doesn't end there. Then I get this truck and this motherfucker breaks down. And you want to fuck with people about background checks and tax stamps and what barrel you have. And if you have a piece of metal can get you 10 years. This is fillet gauges. Is what I'll say. You get how you measure a fillet weld, so you can see if your fillet welds are good or not. But it's all fucking absolutely asinine. Everybody sits around and they want to bitch and complain and point at Nancy Pelosi and point at Donald Trump. And then the whole time they're just controlling us more and more and more. And it's a bunch of bullshit. Like, we don't have fucking enough to deal with. Just leave us alone. Life's hard enough without having you motherfuckers trying to rule over us. And that's what they're trying to do. And everybody's supporting it. And then we call these assholes that bring you the sucking A news that convince you that supporting this shit is fucking good. And in the meantime, while he's telling you it's good, it's really only pushing you further into slavery because the federal government's gaining more control over the states. Our governors won't do shit. They just go along with what the fucking feds say. As long as the feds are giving them the money, they're doing what the feds say because they know as soon as they say no, the feds will quit giving them money. The money ain't even fucking there. It's imaginary. Mike DeWine might as well start printing his own fucking $100 bills with his face on it. Make them pink and gray and LGBT-like. It would mean the same thing as long as we agreed on it. That it has value, that it represents our labor. But it no longer does. It no longer, or even our currency no longer represents the labor or anything like that. It represents how long they hit the fucking button for today to run the press. It's all imploding on itself. You can't say that it's not, and it has to. And when it does, everybody's going to be fucked. We had these dreams of bugging out and making communities and doing all this shit, which is, hey, more power to you. I'm with you, man. I want to build a community. I want to build a community because I know that day is coming when it all implodes. And then the real control starts. It's always about what's coming next, guys. So as I said, we're selling everything. We're getting the hell out of here. Hopefully we're going to build a community, find a community, move into a community. And I'm not talking Waco community. I don't like living in houses I can barely stand living with myself, much less 72 other people. We're going to build communities. I don't know, different, separate homes, everybody living around each other, everybody willing to die for the next person. Because until you're willing to put your prosperity on the line, your life on the line, your wealth on the line for the next person, it's only going to get fucking worse. It absolutely bugs the shit out of me just thinking about it. Like, I'm just here doing nothing, man, just living life. But They're way over there somewhere wanting to control me more. There's not a law in the world that fucking makes you safer. There's not a law in the world that does anything but cost you money. If you go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, it'll cost you, I forget what it is now. The last ticket I paid was $200 something. I personally know somebody. Now think about what I'm saying here. I personally know somebody that caught a Class D felony in Kentucky. At the time, it carried 5 years in prison for doing double in a construction zone when there was nobody working. In the middle of the night, there was no other cars on the road. I get it. The dude was doing 110 miles an hour in a 55. Yeah. Bad boy. Pull him over and say, hey, don't do that shit, man. Don't be a dumb young kid. 5 years in fucking jail over speeding. He had insurance, car was registered. He was just doing double in a construction zone. Who gives a fuck? He owns the road. Nobody was at risk but him. There was nobody else down the road. Like literally, there was no other cars around. But they've created all these laws because in the end, it winds up costing money. It wound up costing him, I think, $3,500, and he wound up having to do like 30 days in jail or something. I think he did like 5 weekends in jail. So it was like 30 days, 10 weekends in jail or something. Whatever it was like 30 days. I forget. But it cost him a lot of money is the point. It's public knowledge that if you get in trouble, money can get you out of it. If you're rich and you catch the same charges as a poor person, the rich person is going to do less time. Not because they deserve less time, but because they can afford to buy their way out of it. Just like if I was rich, I could afford to go buy my way out of my car mess. We've created a life that's no longer about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's about fucking money and who tells you what to do. I could ramble on all day about this shit. It blows my fucking mind that people cannot see it. Even the people that take part in it cannot see it. These FBI agents, ATF, IRS, the IRS agents. Think about how fucking stupid you got to be to work a job where your money is stolen, and then you go after people who don't pay, who don't want their money to be stolen. Like, think about that. It's like getting your car robbed and then going and robbing some other cars. Your house burning to the ground and then going and lighting matches on everybody else's house. It's ridiculous. But they do it because they've been led to believe that they are successful. You got a federal job with the IRS and you're making $120,000 a year. You're successful. But is that success at the price of the people that you fuck over worth it? Hell no, it's not. Not in my mind. But it is in their mind because they've been trained to believe what they've been told is true when it's not. Success isn't limiting you. It's not restricting you. It's not infringing on your rights. It's not limiting your liberty. It's not making you less free. That's not success. The intent is gone. The experiment has failed. And where do we go from here? It sucks. No, it's a lose-lose any way it goes. I'm 40 years old, fat and slow. We go to communism, we lose. Well, if a war starts, fuck, I ain't living through it. I'll be the first one running in with the flag talking about freedom, eating bullets so everybody else can fight, which I'm cool with. I'll be that guy. The problem is that everybody else is too busy fucking screaming, yay, SOPA. It makes no sense. Pick your poison, pick your side. Either you're sick and tired of the government, what the government's doing, you're sick and tired of being ruled over, or you're not. But quit pretending to be something you're not, and forcing people to go down that path of that logic or that thought process. It aggravates the fuck out of me that these dudes with these large followings, 3, 4, 500,000, 1 million followers, 9 million followers, 20 million followers talking about like Demo Ranch. Demo Ranch could change the country over fucking night with a 30-minute video, but he chooses not to. Why? Because he's successful in what he does. It would cost him money to do that. Same reason Guns and Gadgets don't. Same reason as the fucking sky is falling every goddamn video you watch of him. It's ridiculous. I don't know, guys. Like I said, all I know is what we're doing. We're getting out. We're getting out. We're moving somewhere, someplace. And I guarantee wherever that place is at, my neighbor will be willing to die for me because they put all their faith in me. If they see something happening that is hurting me, they will be there to fight. Not even have to know what it's about because they know me. It's like walking into a bar and seeing your mom get slapped by some dude. You're going to go ask him why he slapped her? Be ready for the fight, y'all. It's coming. It's unfortunate, but it is.